What's up, everybody? Jason Garman here tonight, and tonight we're going to talk a little bit about how to close more jobs. I've talked to several people about closing jobs. I've helped several people close more jobs, and tonight we're going to talk about those little things that close jobs. We're going to talk about Dylan. We're going to talk about someone that came to my class. We're going to talk about all different types of people that we're going to hit on tonight of what closes more jobs and what can we do to close more jobs. And no, it's not just keep lowering your price, right? That's not how we close more jobs. And so tonight, we're going to talk about what you need to do to close more jobs at the end of the day. Now, my book of the week, I've actually got a new book of the week, but I got to go to my phone to get the book of the week, so I remember the name of the book of the week. But my book of the week is going to be My Dog That Keeps Barking. That's my book of the week. No, it is not my book of the week. And my book of the week is going to be Oversubscribed. Oversubscribed. This is my book of the week for this week. It's called Oversubscribed. It has been a great book. It's about setting yourself apart, right? It's got a lot to do with what we're dealing with right now of selling. An awesome book. I highly recommend you to read this book. If you haven't read this book, it is a great, great book. And so it's called Oversubscribed. Again, I highly recommend this book. I'm about halfway through it, and I really enjoyed it so far. And I think you will enjoy it too. It will help you grow your business, and that's the most important thing of added here to help you grow your business in 2025. So, what this week I've been helping a lot of people get some lights. A lot of people been closing jobs. I've been talking to people doing permanent lights. I've been talking to people doing Christmas lights, and it's been a great week. I would like to hear how your week has been. I'd love to hear your week, how it's been going. And so these are all things that are awesome that we would love to help people grow their business. And so I would love to hear you of your stories and your successes this week. If you want to post them in the group, or if you even want to just post questions, I see Cat Pajamas 101 posted in there, and we will hit that. And so with this week, just so you know, I am giving away a pitch hopper. And if you don't know what a pitch hopper is, I'm going to see if I can show you what a pitch hopper is here. If you don't know what a pitch hopper is, a pitch hopper is that white thing on the roof. This is a way that you can stand on the roof. This is a way that it can help you stand on the roof. I'll go show you real quick. We can stand on the roof. There's a whole lot of fat people, and this is a way that you can stand on the roof. You can do all kinds of awesome things. And so, how do you enter to win this here? You go to christmaslights.io and you buy anything, you will be entered to win the $125 pitch hopper. So if you go buy, you spend $399, you get a free shipping, and it ships the same day. It's not going to ship today, but it will ship tomorrow and be to your door within likely of 2 days. I was looking through my shipping thing, and right now it is at 65%, I believe it is, that you will get it in 2 days. And if you in 3 days, it is 95% of what it is. So if you will definitely get your shipping within 2 to 3 days. So that's my deal. Now, if you want to know something about how to hang Christmas lights, I've actually got a online class, christmaslights.io/IPT, or just virtual. I don't know if she put it up or not, but I may have let me see if it's put up yet. I may have a training also that isn't in person. I added this class today, or we were supposed to add this class today, and I'm going to see if it's up there. If it's not, then there ain't no use telling you about it. But I am adding a class on November 3rd and 4th. I know it is a late opportunity. It is an opportunity that if you want to come in person, and that is something, my lights came today, super excited. November 3rd and 4th, I know it's Monday and Tuesday of the following week. I was going to do it on Halloween, but I didn't know if anybody would be here for Halloween, so I did it on Monday and Tuesday. So if you want the hands-on portion, you can go there. Or if you want the virtual portion, it will be Friday and Saturday this week. So Friday and then Saturday will be the hands-on portion. We're talking about the lights. So on Friday will be all about marketing and sales, and Saturday will be all about how to do the lights. If you purchase any lights of any of the kits, you will get the training for free. So that's a way that you can get training for free if you purchase one of the 1,000-foot starter kits. And yes, it will be recorded, and yes, it will be up for that, for those people that signed up for it. All right, so how are you guys doing? Let's see what we got going on here. We got cat pajama. How many years do the lights last? Most of these lights will last 5 to 7 years. You'll have no problems out of it. They work very well. How many years till I should change them on a customer? Again, 5 to 7 years is what you're probably looking at. We got Sean, our Canadian. Hope you're doing great. I am doing great. You can keep this cold weather more north would be great. It's not really that cold, but it's like high of 65 and lows in the 40s. If you just keep that up north, that would be great. Quit kicking that stuff down here. We got our other Canadian here. What's up, Jason? Where should I contact you for the negative words? Actually, she was supposed to send that to you today. It's on her to-do list, so it should be coming today, if not tomorrow. What's up, Mr. Barry Little? How are you doing? Did you get your big job done yesterday? Got my lights today, super excited. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Fast shipping. At the end of cat pajama, at the end of my strands, do I just put a female on the end? That's what I do or didn't do. Is there a better option? I personally like to do the females on the end. There's also called a terminational caps. If you go to my Christmas light store and look where the plugs are, there's some termination caps that you can also put on there. So that is another way that you can do that also. So let's start out a little bit of, I want to hit on a couple things, right? I want you to start thinking about how do we close more jobs? And I've hit on this a lot. Monday night, I actually hit on this. Carrie asked a question, and Carrie asked the question, was talking about why, how do I close jobs? Did I lose this job? What are some things that it is? And so the first thing that I asked him, I'm like, why did the woman want lights? And he's like, I don't know. She just wants Christmas lights. And I'm like, but why? Right? We need to know why they want Christmas lights so that way we can sell them why they want Christmas lights. I see a lot of people, they love to preach that we use C9, we use 12-inch, 15-inch, we do all of this stuff. And that's the first thing that will kill your sales because they know that's the same thing that everybody else is going to spiel to them. But why do they want Christmas lights? Is it like the guy that came to my class that his got on the phone call and was talking to her for 30 minutes and found out that the grandkids has 5 granddaughters. They haven't been here in 3 years. Do you think I can sell Christmas lights to the grandma that hasn't seen her grandkids in 3 years at her house? I can most definitely sell better than you're going to get some bulbs on some trees, right? And so these are what we are talking about of how do we do this, right? We need to quit selling the features of the light. But what are the benefits? What's going to make that grandma that warm and fuzzy feeling inside when they see their grandkids come and get to see grandma's house with the lights on? That goes so much further than the C9. We peak the bulb, we're professional, we blah, and we split this crap of blah, blah, blah. I see it over and over and over. So this is why it is important that we do. First off, customers, they don't care about the bulbs. They just want big Christmas lights. Well, why do you want big Christmas lights? Well, when I was a kid, I used to go see Grandpa, and Grandpa always had these big Christmas lights. And I really like those big Christmas lights. And I want to have that memory of when I had that time. Or I want to give that to my kids' memory of why I want Christmas lights. This is how we sell from $6 a foot to $8 to $12 a foot. Because we're selling emotion. We're not selling 90% of people buy on emotion. I had a guy that came to class this weekend, and it was awesome to see how much he opened up and how much he was able to receive and start taking action. One of the guys in class, he started making videos as we were speaking. One of the guys, very little, had made 25 videos all while he was in class here. And so some people are like, well, Jason, I just can't get no work. And it's like, why can't you get no work? It's important that you make sure that you are always marketing. And so this is why it's important. And as AJ said, as Daniel said on Monday, ask 3 questions or 5 or 6, 7, right? Because if we don't ask questions, then how do we know what do they want? What's the things that they want? At the end of the day, a lot of people are solving the wrong problem, right? You're trying to solve a bulb issue. You're trying to solve a peak bulb. You're trying to solve it fits perfect. But at the end of the day, what's the problem that you're solving? Are you solving that the grandkids are coming over, that they're having a party this weekend, that they're having a party in 2 weeks and we got 2 weeks to get them up? That's the problem that we got to remember, that the one thing that sells at the end of the day, back like I said earlier, is emotion, right? We can have the best product. Nobody's ever asked you to say, what product line are you using? What bulb are you using, right? Are you using the SMD bulb? Or are you using the Minleon? Are you using the best clip? Are you using the Minleon, the tough clip? Are you using the extension cord that you make? Or what kind of... Nobody cares about that. Now, I shouldn't say nobody, because there might be some type C personality that you get to and they want to know everything about it. They've already been through everything and they know everything, and that's why it's important. And so that's why we're not selling Christmas lights at the end of the day. What are we selling? We're selling magic, we're selling memories, and we're selling feelings, right? That's what I'm selling. And if you're not selling that, and here's what I'll tell you, most men struggle with this. I don't know why, but most men struggle with this, right? We want to sell the features. It doesn't matter what business we're in. If we're trying to clean houses, We're selling the pressure washing, soft washing. We're selling, we don't use high pressure. That's not what we're selling at the end of the day. We're selling a clean home. We're selling, they don't want their house to be dirty. They don't care how it gets clean. That's what we're doing. In Christmas lights, we're selling transformation. We're selling the house with lights to a magical wonderland. You can sell house with lights on and the bulbs and peaks, or we can talk about the magical wonderland. And that's what we want to sell, right? That's what we sell. Features versus magic, right? We can look at features or we can sell magic. So, you want to be the talk of the town, or are you going to sell the C9 bulbs? You know, are we talking about 15-inch spacing, or are we talking about when it's going to be beautiful and magical? We can't wait for it. These are all things that you have to remember. Now, here's another thing I want you to remember. If you don't follow up, you fold up, right? If you don't follow up, you fold up. I've heard this many years ago, and everything else, that if you don't follow up, you fold up. Sorry, I had to keep my camera from jacking around here. And so this is important at the end of the day. Dylan came to my pressure washing class in July. Dylan came back to my Christmas lights in this year. Dylan is 21 years old, or 21, 22. He's about to graduate from UK, the University of UK. He lives in the Louisville area, and he just closed a large, like $3,000 or $4,000 job. And how did he get the $3,000 or $4,000 job, you might ask? Well, he didn't get it on the first time that he gave the quote out. He didn't close it on the second follow-up. He didn't close it on the third follow-up. He didn't close it on the fourth follow-up. He didn't even close it on the fifth follow-up. He didn't close it on the sixth follow-up. But on the seventh follow-up, he closed this job. And so that's what I want to hit on, right? We know, and the data shows, that it takes 7 to 12 touches for a job to close, for a follow-up, right? I was talking to Daniel today. He just closed a $10,000 job or $8,000 job. He didn't follow up once. He didn't follow up twice. He didn't follow up 3 times. He followed up 4 times. No. He followed up 5 times. No. He followed up 6 times. No. He followed up 7 times. No. He followed up 8 times. No. He followed up 9 times. No. And number 10, he got a yes for $8,000. Is it worth the follow up to your customers? Why don't you follow up? And another one is, are you answering your phone? Here's another one. I've got a guy that he struggled on pricing, right? Last year he was super cheap, like super cheap, $4 a foot. And so I'm trying to get him to close at $8 a foot. And here's the thing, right? The woman called 6 companies, and 2 answered the phone, and only 1 gave them a bid. Is there really competition at that point? Because I don't see that as competition. Some people struggle with this so hard that they're worried about their competitors. Well, Jason, Jason, you just don't understand. You can't get that in my area. Well, you know what? You're right. You know why you're right? Because that's what you believe. You have to change your mindset to get out of that thinking. If you have a mindset that that's all you can get, that's all you will ever get out of any job out there. And it's important that you keep pushing, right? You're not going to close every job, and that's okay. I do have some people with some pretty high close rates. Are they cheap? No, they're not cheap. They're $10 to $14 a foot. Are they amazing at the sales presentation and calling and being able to talk on the phone? Yes, They are amazing to be able to do that. And so these are all things that we got to start learning how to do, and we got to start being better at it. How do we do it? Practice, right? Practice, practice, practice. And when you practice, you get better at it. You know, Alex Hermosi. I know a lot of you always like Alex Hermosi, and I love some Alex Hermosi myself. And the one thing he says is, if you're not busy, you should be promoting your business 4 hours every day. Whether that's picking up the phone, whether that is whatever that might be, you should always be getting that phone to ring. And so maybe you're picking up the phone and calling everybody. Maybe you're making videos. Maybe you're doing whatever you need to do. Maybe you're knocking on doors and you're door knocking. If you want to do this, you have to go out there and make it happen. And so with that, what questions do you have? I see some questions in here we will hit on. Again, christmaslights.io, around 9. I know I said if you buy by 6, you would be entered. I'm going to push this out to probably about 8:45 is when I'll draw the pitch hopper. I'm going to take some screenshots of all the stuff, put it in ChatGPT, and tell him to pick me out a winner. Right? And so we'll see who wins the pitch hopper, and that way we can go from there. So what questions do you all have for me? If you don't know where to buy a product at, christmaslights.io or christmaslight.io is where you can go and get into knowing where you can get your product from. If you put in the discount code Let's Go, you get 5% off. So don't forget to put in Let's Go. Like Daniel says, always ask the customer at least 3 questions, right? We want to know what they are thinking, basically. Let's see. Also, you have to be very confident and believing in yourself. I don't sell on my own prices. My prices are higher than everybody else. I win jobs because my confidence and my competence. You know, we had a big discussion about this in my class this past weekend of, how much does it cost for that person to live in that $750,000 house, right? How much are their bills in that $750,000 house? And I will tell you this, by the time their house payment and by the time their car payments is probably more than a lot of you make in this room if you're just starting out. And I'm not being mean, but most of you people have $10,000 to $15,000 worth of bills that come out every month. And so this is why you can't sell out of your own pocket. This is why it is definitely this here. Sold a $15,000 worth of exterior cleaning today, 0 advertisement. But does he really have 0 advertisement? And the answer is, it's not technically 0 advertisement. It's back to what I said, right? He had posted 20 videos this weekend. That's not 0 advertisement. That takes time. You have to take the time and post and to do the video and post and post and post, right? A lot of people just want the phone to ring and don't want to do the work and don't want to do the things that you need to do. And so that's the difference between winners and losers at the end of the day. And you got to go out there and post and post and post. I got a call to give a quote in person. Went there, talked to them for 20 minutes. When I gave them the quote, they said someone else bid lower. What should I do at this point? Awesome. I mean, what are we comparing apples to apples? Did we put a lot more lights on this house? Do they have insurance? Do you have insurance? Right? How do I separate myself? Do you have 100 5-star reviews and they have 0? What separates us? Because if it's just price, that's a different thing. Why do they want lights? Do they want lights because of price? Or do they want lights because of a memory that you're going to make sure that the lights are always on? Why aren't they using the person they used last year? Have they ever had lights installed? All these questions are questions that you need to be able to answer. So that way, if they like, yeah, we had lights last year, but they never came and took them down. Awesome. You know that cheap guy? There'll be another year you won't have your lights down because he'll be out of business too. Or I guarantee you, I will be back here to fix the lights. I guarantee you. And I see this even with big companies. I know people have lost jobs at big companies because the big companies get so big and they don't fix problems, right? They don't go back out and check the lights out. They don't give what the customer wants. And that's the importance of what we need to do to make sure that we take care of all the little things at the end of the day. That happened today. They can hold my pocket as I lead the way my first year at $10 a foot. Watch me do my thing. I was just about to ask about the website. Thank you for it. Yes. Christmaslights.io. Put in let's go. What happened to the comment showing up on the screen? Sometimes I'll put them up on the screen, but the problem of it is my little tool over here that I use to put them up. Sometimes when I click it, it takes me back up to the top comment and I lose it. And if you've got a comment that has little words, there's this thing called age. And those little words get small and sometimes they're hard to see. Sometimes those little words are hard to see. I might have to get me some readers out here before long and start doing it with my readers on. Because once you hit about 45, 40-ish, 45, man, those words start getting smaller and smaller. And so when I click it here and my thing is being goofy and it takes it back to the first one, then I got to hurry up and scroll back down before the words on the screen go away. And yes, I've been procrastinating about going to the eye doctor because I used to wear glasses when I was young. I wore glasses from the age of 10 months old to 20 years old. I had a really bad lazy eye. This eye here would just stay in the middle of it there. And sometimes you all may see when I'm really tired, it'll go haywire. And so that's where I'm kind of like, I don't want to wear glasses. So I just keep the words up and sometimes I put it on the screen and sometimes I don't because like I said, I lose where I'm at and that's sometimes why I don't show it up on the screen. What's the best website to get a started website with at least a landing page, be able to put on door hangers? If you go to christmaslights.io and you type in the christmaslights.io/SP, that is the membership. If you're in the membership, as long as you're in the membership, you get a free template website. If you want a different website, I believe you can go up and hit marketing. And I think we've got a couple different options for a website. So that's where you can get that information at. Let's see here. Baseball guy, where'd you go at? Right there. Tate, do you focus more on average ticket or price per foot? Does it make sense to lower price per foot if they buy more lights? If they're at above your average ticket? No, I do not. Why do I want to do more work and make less money, right? I don't want to do more work and make less money. And so that is where I will tell you that I see people do this, right? I know people, personally know people, and they have an average ticket of $2,000. They're doing $1 million, but it takes 10 to 12 crews to do $1 million. 10 to 12 crews, right? Daniel is going to do $1 million and he's got 2 crews, maybe 3 crews. So what do you think is more profitable at the end of the day? The dude that's doing $2,000 average tickets and getting 2 jobs done a day, or with 10 crews, they're doing about $20,000 to $30,000, or the guy that's doing 2 crews and getting $30,000 done a day. So I don't agree with adding. Here's the thing, right? I'm not going to lower my prices. I'm going to add more stuff, and they can take away, and I can price anchor at, hey, if you want all of it, it's at $5,000. That's a lot of money. But if I take off this, this, and this, it's only $3,000. That's not so bad, and that's kind of what you're going at the end of the day for it. I loved when they showed on the screen so I could bookmark them. Well, here, I'll put it up there for you. How can I sign up for the online training this weekend? I don't see it listed on the online training page. If you go to christmaslights.io/virtual, I'll put it up here. I'll post it up here, maybe if I can find it. Click view dates. You don't want to come to my in-person one and all the way from Canada. Here, I'll post it in there, the christmaslights.io/virtual. I'll post it in here, copy. I'll put it in there for you. Paste. New oh, that's not one. Paste, go. There. I just put it in there. Let's see. AJ. To Odin. Guy. The guy Odin. How are you getting all of these huge jobs, and who do you look up to for advice in this industry? Well, he's been to 2 of my classes. He's on my online class. He shows up every Monday night. He asks questions. He asks 5 to 10 questions every week, and that's how he's been able to get it done. He's 17 years old, and yes, he came to my in-person class when he was 16 years old. And so he's taking action, and he showed up to my spring class this year where David Hamill was here, Daniel was here, Justice was here. A lot of amazing people was here this past or in the spring. He showed up to my Charlotte class where Paul Gardner was there, Carrie was there, myself, Dan and Lindy was there. And so he shows up and invests in himself, and that's who he's learned how to grow this business. christmaslight.io/virtual. We have about 400 signs out. Calls are rolling in more and more each day. That's awesome, Tate. I love it. 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 Should I put out yard signs only in or near high income neighborhoods, or should I put them out in the 300 to 400? I would put them out in the $300,000 to $400,000 range. Also, you want people that love Christmas lights, and you want people that have a little bit of money. If someone in a $150,000 to $200,000 house might be your customer, they might love Christmas lights, right? So I put them out at any area that people have money or are willing to spend money. This is what I would tell you, right? In those neighborhoods, are people keeping up with the Joneses? Are a bunch of people putting up Christmas lights, or is there only 1 or 2 people putting up Christmas lights? So that's kind of what you're kind of looking for there. Oh, what was your average ticket and how many jobs do you have? This year he's closed some. I know last year his average ticket was, I believe, like 2,200 or 2,000, 2,100. I think he did around 29,000 last year, is where he ended up, is where Odin ended up last year as a 16-year-old. So, as a 16-year-old. With his mom driving him around. I don't know. Actually, I think he had his license last year. But he's been doing lights for a couple of years. The first year he did it with incandescents before he learned about the importance of not doing incandescents. And here's the thing about Odin too. So Odin won one of the contests. I did a contest. And so he had a chance of getting a pitch hopper, a website, a couple other things. And he actually went, or an hour-long Zoom call with me. And he actually went with the hour-long Zoom call. So that was something that's cool. Absolutely. Put them everywhere. Just did a $2,400 job on a $200,000 house. Sell the experience. I want you all to say that. Write this in the comments. Sell the experience. Put it in the comments. Sell the experience, right? That is the most important part of this here. Don't sell bulbs, but sell the experience. Super important about this for the Christmas light industry. 100% one of the most important things that you can do is sell the experience. I see so many people not wanting to sell the experience. They want to sell everything else. And it is so important at the end of the day that we sell the experience. All right. So I am going to start getting the names here for who might win this pitch hopper. If you all got questions, definitely put them in there. Let's see if I can do this easier because that's not working very good for me. Stupid, retarded. Just do it this way. Oh yeah, I can do it this way. So we're going back to last week because that's when I said I would do it too. All right. So I am going to copy. Copy that. Copy that. Put them in here in ChatGPT and let them pick me a name out. Because I'm not even going to do the wheel. I'm going to try it this way. See if it'll pick a name out. We got a bunch of them there. Let's see. So I will, he says. Let's see here. Oh, absolutely. I don't want to say that I am most experienced in this industry as it is only my third year, but I will definitely say that a good website with SEO gets commercial jobs. I will sell $100,000 in my first year starting tomorrow. I will say you will probably sell more than that. I have a good feeling that you will sell more than that. I have a good feeling about that. Last year, I didn't get many commercial jobs or even high ticket quotes beyond $2,000 to $3,000 with my website. I'm getting more leads, quality leads, and already pre-qualified. I have 24 staffers. I was thinking about bringing everyone to one of your trainings. We could have to rotate crews. Everyone should know how because we keep busy with our other business. If you wanted to, I could come to you. If you want to message me, and we can work out a deal where I can come out there and do it with you if that would make things easier for you. Means that you got that many people. I would be in person. Actually, there's a good chance that I might go out that way anyway, but I want to go to Virginia, so I could go to New Jersey and come back to Virginia. I will. Odin, I didn't realize you were new. Sorry, I assumed you were big, so just getting started. Where can I buy material? Just sent an email out to customers based and have already 54 jobs scheduled. Christmaslights.io. Christmaslights.io. And if you need help, holler at me. I'll help you in whatever you need. Big start to the week. Things are picking up. That is great, Matt. This will be my third year. Anthony, roughly 21,000 already booked or installed, already looking to hit at least $70,000 this season. That's awesome. I've used yard signs only for the last few years. If I were to add a second main source of leads, what would you recommend? We are trying EDDM, but not sure how well that works. I would probably, my next thing would be Facebook ads. I believe Facebook ads has been better than any of the other ads. With Google getting a little bit more with AI and all the AI stuff, I believe Facebook is still probably one of the better ones out there. Sale number 2 from Signs came in this week, upgraded another repeat customer. Awesome. All right, let's see here. So what else do we need here? I think that's me. So I obviously don't want to, I didn't want to do that. Let me get here and I am going to copy all these names down. Copy. And we are going to see who is going to win the pitch hopper. Who wants to win the pitch hopper? I want to win the pitch hopper. What's going on, Jason? Sorry, I'm late to the party. Best leads are. All right, I know I'm kind of doing two things here, but I want to see who's going to win this thing. And we're going to see who's going to win because we want to be winners. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. All right. Let me make sure all the names are in there. Yeah, they are. All right. So I've got all the names in there. Big start. This will be my third year. Get your passport and come to Canada, eh? I know I need to get my passport. I let it lapse. I used to have my passport. Best leads are. What's going on? Is hitting an additional 50,000 realistic for November? I have 21,000 booked or installed, really trying to hit that 70,000. If you are doing, it is realistic. I know people that November is going to be a big month for a lot of people, and so November is your big month. That's when all the leads are coming in. So as long as you're doing your marketing and you're doing your Zooms or you're doing your videos and you're doing everything, I don't see why you couldn't hit it. But if you're not doing marketing, then you probably aren't going to hit it. So it is important that we are doing marketing at the end of the day. Beat leads for me. One, I don't think that's beat leads. Beat them. Number 1 is Signs. Number 2 is Facebook. Number 3 is Google My Business. And number 4 is, yeah. And the more you start working your Google My Business or Google Business Profile, that will start bringing you in more and more leads. Get those reviews, do all those things you need to do. I am late to close my first job in my first year today after 4 hours of block walking last night. Same day my door hangers came in, I got to door knocking. Awesome job. Congratulations. Third year, pushing yard signs like crazy. Got out the quote for 7,000 non-lit wreaths and garden alone. Let's go. I would have put some lit on them bad boys. I would have lit them bad boys up. My personal opinion, unless that's what they wanted. Does it matter what time I post my Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn? No, it's just post, right? And this is why I say a lot of times pick one and post it, Facebook, we're not just posting one time a day, right? If we're doing Facebook, we're posting 5 to 10 times a day. Instagram, I don't know nothing about it, if it's going to get you a bunch of jobs or not. LinkedIn, we're posting once a day, but we're commenting on 5 different people's things every day, right? It's that consistency that wins. It's not the once a day consistency. It's whatever the algorithm wants, and we're going to be consistent. If you really want to work the algorithm for Facebook, then it's posting 15, 20 times a day. And the more that you post, the more likely you're going to get seen out there. Is it better to post in the morning or afternoon or night? Mine is a little bit all over the board. Like that morning time, people get to work, they're doing it, and when they get home, and then when they're sitting on the couch, it just depends on what it is. Forgot to mention $8 a foot. That is awesome. See, you can get that. So first year, walked around, did 4 hours of doing a knocking doors, and sold a job at $8 a foot. Great job, great job. All right, so let me see here. Let me do a thing here, and I'm gonna pick a winner. Pick a booger, pick a winner. Who's gonna win the pitch hopper? Okay, I need you to go through and randomly pick me out a name of who's gonna win the pitch hopper. I need one name. Boom. Who's gonna win the pitch hopper? Who's gonna win the pitch hopper? All right. He had 2 solid orders because that was 2 different orders. And who's going to win the pitch hopper this week? Braden S. Smith is going to win the pitch hopper. Actually, it might be Brandon, Branden S. Smith is going to win the pitch hopper. I'm going to take this here and I'm going to copy that so I know. I'm going to get it in here so I make sure I don't forget who's getting it. Sometimes you get old too and you forget things. When you get old, you forget a lot. Just a lot of things. Let's see where Brandon is. Let's look him up here and see where he's at. He ordered yesterday is when he ordered. He ordered 2 orders and yesterday, so that gave him 2 chances to win. And he is in Huntington, Tennessee. Huntington, Tennessee. Ricky Skinner, Ziegler Realtor, congratulations. All right. First install tomorrow, $2,200. Awesome, Carrie. Go get it. Go get her done. What's your average ticket and how many jobs you got on the schedule? So Barry has 0 because he just came to class this past week. He just came to class on this past weekend on Saturday and Sunday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. He's party of the party. He does a lot of pressure washing. He's got 4, 5, 6 pressure washing rigs and trucks and does a couple million a year. I don't know what he does, but he does a lot. And he's a pretty cool cat. He's a little short dude. Of course, everybody's a little short dude around me. There ain't too many people that, other than Wes Bridges, I think might have been taller than me in the last 10 classes I've been to. But other than that, I've been the tallest person in the room for pretty much all the other classes. So that's what it is. So with that, we are getting into the really let's go time. I know a lot of times we talk about October and you'll see a lot of people in October working a lot and doing a lot. But at the end of the day, this is November. November is when everything gets busy. November is the month that everybody wants these lights put up. That is the time that all the work that you've been doing, don't stop, right? Get into November. Sometimes people get into October and they're like, Jason, I just can't close no jobs. I can't close no jobs. And November is when it's go time. Now, comes a point that you do have to do a little work to get the closing going, but November is the time to get it moving. Your busiest time of the year will be the week to 2 weeks before Christmas. Christmas. That's not the busiest time. A week to 2 weeks before November, Thanksgiving. What I will tell you is this here, right? This is what I will tell you is this year, Thanksgiving is late, which sucks. I like when Thanksgiving's early and they got a week more before the end of the month. This year, Thanksgiving happens on Thursday and the first of the month happens on like Friday or Saturday or Sunday. Like it happens very quickly. And what happens then is when Thanksgiving gets here, they forget about they forget that they forgot to get the lights up. And so when Thanksgiving is early, they get there and they're like, oh crap, I need to get the lights up. I got a week to December. This year, you don't have that oh crap moment. So this year kind of sucks a little bit when it comes to when these people want it up there. So that's just what you want to think about. Minleon, good products. How much should the C9 bulb cost? $1 bulb? No, they don't cost that much. So you can go with the Minleon. You can go with the SMDs. The SMDs have a 5-year warranty. The Minleon, they're a good bulb. Have they had problems in the past? Yes. I think they've got the problem finally figured out. Again, you can get either one at christmaslights.io. I have both bulbs, whatever you need. You can do Minleon or you can do it. You can do the cheaper wire, the commercial wire, or you can do the other wire that I can't think of the name of it, that starts with an A, that has lost my mind. And I don't know why it's lost my mind, but it has. Sometimes it does that. And when you get old, you start forgetting things. But I'll get it here because I can't think what it's called. Why can't I think of it? And the plugs, you do want Gilbert plugs. The Gilbert plugs are one of your best plugs out there. You will have less issues with it. Is there cheaper ones out there? Sure there is, but the Gilbert plugs are your main plugs that you want. So again, if you need SBT wire, you can get it in 12-inch, 15-inch, all different types of wire. You can get, if you want the sockets to never come off, you can go with the Minleon sockets. Like that stuff, man, it does not come off of it at all. You can't knock them sockets off of it. On the brand for the 1,000-foot, you can either do the commercial or the Admiral. The Admiral is one of your better brands. It's a little bit better wire and everything. And so it is a little bit more expensive, but it is a better wire. And then if you do the Minleon wire, that sucker, I will say, like those sockets, man, you are not going to knock those sockets off. They're on there like glue. And I do like it because of that, because like you're not going to get the socket. You're not going to knock a socket off, which also means you're not going to have issues with wire later on. So I would do the Admiral or the Minleon. Yes, the commercial grade is cheaper, but the Minleon and the Admiral are your two better of the wires of making sure that the product is not going to have no issues with wire. I'm not going to say you're going to have issues with the commercial. I'm just saying you got a better chance that you're not going to have issues with it. I am out here right now working. We've been working since we got back from Cincinnati, training with Jason. This week will be a $35,000 week just in exterior cleaning. We try to close 3 or 4 jobs a day. We are trying to average $2,500 to $3,500 per ticket for exterior cleaning. And when we start lights tomorrow, it will be $10 a foot, no matter what. Jason is the best one to train, in my opinion. Christopher is not surveillance van anymore. Oh, that's funny. I always thought that was fun. I got this stupid fly. We've had flies all weekend. All right. So with that, hopefully you learned something. Sell the magic. Don't sell the bulbs. Sell the benefits. Don't sell the features. It will work way better for you in the end. You will make way more money in the end. It's not about getting a bunch of cheap jobs and being busy. It's more about being profitable and how we make more money and how profitable we can be. You know, this is something that I was talking to one of my friends, Rick, and he was talking about, I was telling him that I'm possibly going down to Myrtle Beach in February and speak at a conference down there about pressure washing. And he's always liked that one. And he's like, Jason, I was like, what should I talk about? And he's like, how to scale a business and not be cheap. And so that's what I'm going to talk about. But other than that, hopefully you all have if you want to know about the virtual class, if you want the virtual class, christmaslight.io/virtual. If you go to the website, the Christmas Light packages, you can get one of the packages, and then that way you can get the lights. So you can come here, you can go to Christmas Light packages. This makes it simple. You can get the 1,000-foot with C9. You can get it with 12-inch or 15-inch or the 2,000-foot, whatever you want to get. And this is all of how you can get your business started and growing and taking action and making things happen, because that's what it's all about at the end of the day. We can sit there and hope and want to get this done, but if we don't take action, it's not going to happen. And so with that, that's all I have for tonight. Again, Friday morning will be when the start of the virtual class, christmaslights.io/virtual. I will be on here all day Friday, all day Saturday. We will do a lunch break, so if you need to get some work done or whatnot, it will all be recorded, that you'll be able to go back and watch the recordings. I'm going to have a whole Google Doc sheet that will break each thing down, so that way you all can just keep it easy and know what you need to do. And so with that, that is all I have for tonight. Go take action, go make it happen, and let's go. It's go time, baby. Go time. And we will see you later.